today we are strapping in to really master the advertising machine. Whether you run Google Ads, Facebook, any of these emerging platforms, we've all felt it.
Oh, yeah.
That pressure of the unstoppable rise of automation. I mean, automated bidding,
Yeah.
platform-driven optimizations on the surface, it all looks like this tremendous gift.
It does. It feels like it's saving you time.
Exactly. But it carries a severe and I think often silent risk.
That risk is the core of our deep dive today, especially for local businesses who are, trying to protect really tight margins. Our mission is actually pretty simple.
Okay.
Automation isn't the enemy, confusion is. I mean, if you find yourself in a meeting and you literally cannot explain why your ad spend shot up yesterday or why your cost per lead jumped last month,
Right.
the reality is that your ad platform is steering your profits, not the other way around.
That's that feeling of a lack of control, and that is exactly what we're here to solve. We've pulled key insights from the sources to find these specific control moves. We're talking practical, real-world guardrails, necessary safety nets like automated scripts, and we'll look at the immediate implications of what's coming next. AI agents, new platform tools like Reddit's campaign options.
Let's start with that first big danger point.
Let's do it.
Let's call it the automation trap. It all starts when business owners treat their automated campaigns like a set it and forget it system.
Which feels great. It feels efficient.
It feels comfortable, but it's fundamentally flawed.
So what's the mechanism there? What's the simple key risk?
Okay, so automated systems are designed to find conversions, period. They are optimization engines, and their whole focus is hitting that conversion number.
Right.
And the most reliable way for them to find more volume is just to widen the net.
So the system is designed to succeed on its own terms, not necessarily ours.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is that this net widening happens slowly. It's almost invisible. Over time, that system pushes your ads into lower intent searches, weaker audiences, cheaper placements.
But you're still getting leads, right? That's the deceptive part.
You're still getting leads, maybe even more leads because the net is so wide now. But those leads cost just a little bit more and, crucially, they close way less often.
So the system is just trading quality for quantity.
It is.
I hear this counter-argument a lot, though. Shouldn't the AI eventually figure it out that these are low-quality leads and then, optimize back toward the high-intent users?
That is a great question. And theoretically, yes, but practically, almost never.
Why not?
Because if your offline sales data isn't being perfectly fed back into the ad platform, which, let's be honest, for small businesses is almost always the case, the system only sees a high conversion rate.
Clicks turning into form fill.
Right. It doesn't see the true cost, the high cost of customer acquisition. The ad cost plus all the sales effort you wasted.
That is the perfect definition of how growth turns into a margin problem.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine you're a home service provider.
Yep.
You're doing $500,000 in revenue, but you're paying twice as much for customers who take 4 times the effort to close. You might hit $600,000 next year, sure, but your actual net profit is lower.
Because the system slowly choked your margins. We've seen accounts that look perfectly healthy for 6, even 9 months. They're showing decent conversion volume.
Everything looks green.
Everything's green, but then they just slowly lose efficiency. Sometimes a 20% erosion in cost per acquisition with not a single warning signal in the platform.
So what's the answer?
The boring truth that pays is that success here means pairing automation with clear, human-defined constraints and consistent checks.
Okay, so if the trap is this uncontrolled widening, the solution has to be building clear boundaries.
Clear boundaries.
Running ads like a business owner, not an algorithm operator. It requires constraints that the machine has to respect. So let's talk about the essential control moves we found.
The crucial first step is tightening the economics through segmentation. You absolutely have to break your campaigns into tighter buckets that match how your business actually makes money.
Okay, not just how the platform wants to spend money.
Precisely.
So give me a concrete example of that. Why can't I just run one big service campaign for my HVAC business?
Okay, let's use that HVAC example. Let's say repairing a broken furnace in January that generates $1,500 in high margin revenue per job.
Right. an emergency high-value job.
Exactly. But then you have air duct cleaning, which you run specials on in the summer, and that only generates maybe $300 in low-margin revenue.
Okay.
If you put both of those services in the same automated campaign, the system is going to optimize for volume. It might start favoring the duct cleaning because it converts more often, has a lower cost per click, even though it's starving your most profitable work.
So the machine is just chasing the highest number of conversions it can get, regardless of the value of those conversions to my bottom line. I'm basically subsidizing my low-margin business with my high-margin budget.
You've got it. That is the danger of a blended budget. And second, you also have to separate areas based on your internal capacity.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if you're a local plumber and you're fully booked in one zip code, you can't handle more work there. So don't let the automated campaign spend premium dollars there.
When you desperately need work in the next town over.
Right. The neighboring territory that might have higher travel time but way less competition, you have to feed the business need, not just the algorithm's hunger for the easiest possible conversion.
Okay, so that covers the structural part, the campaign segmentation. But even with the tightest structure, these systems can still drift, like we said. So you need that human oversight. What does a simple inspection routine look like?
It starts with defining a baseline campaign, something that stays steady. This is your control group.
So you can tell if a change is actually an improvement or just noise.
Exactly. Then the inspection routine is just 2 steps you do every week.
And what are we looking for?
First, you have to look closely at your search terms and placement signals. This is non-negotiable. You need to see where the system is really spending your money.
So are people searching for emergency roof repair, which is high intent?
Or are they searching for how to fix roof leak myself, which is super low intent and just burning your budget? You will start to see that slow creep of generic, low intent junk terms appear over time.
Okay, and the second step is moving past the surface level metrics.
Yeah, you have to check lead quality. If you see your conversion numbers look great, but your sales team starts complaining that the leads are garbage.
Unqualified, low budget.
Demanding impossible turnaround times. Yeah. That is the definitive signal. That's your alarm bell that the automation has drifted into those low intent zones. You have to talk to the people answering the phones.
Right. So that covers active management.
Yeah.
But as the business owner, you're not sitting there every single minute. You need passive protection.
Yes.
And this is where the safety nets come in, specifically Google Ad scripts.
Scripts are the set-it-once move that you absolutely need. For listeners who haven't used them, just think of them as tiny pieces of code you paste into the Google Ads platform.
And they just run on their own.
They run automatic checks 24/7, no human intervention needed. They are simple alarms, and they are so critical because they protect against expensive technical mistakes that can waste weeks of spend before anyone even notices.
So it's like an insurance policy against digital slip-ups. What's the strong starter set? If I were going to implement 3 safety net scripts tomorrow, what are the priorities?
Okay, we identified 3 essentials. Number 1, budget pacing alerts. Automated systems can, occasionally go haywire because of human error. A misplaced decimal point in a bid, or a new optimization that triggers a massive sudden spike in spend.
So this just tells you if you're burning cash too fast.
Instantly. It lets you stop a runaway campaign immediately instead of getting that shock at the end of the month.
Okay, makes sense. Number 2.
Number 2, broken landing page checks. If your destination URL stops working because of a website update or a server issue, you are paying good money to send visitors to a dead page.
Ouch.
A script sends an immediate alert so you can halt the waste.
And the third one sounds like it might be the most vital for actually preserving performance.
It is. It's the tracking anomaly alert. This script just monitors your conversion volume, and if that volume suddenly drops to 0, it means your conversion tracking tag, the little piece of code that says a lead happened, broke.
And if your tracking breaks, the whole automated bidding system is suddenly flying blind.
Completely blind, it can't see results, so it just starts to flounder. It'll often spend erratically until you fix the tag. This is one of the few moves that truly protects your long-term performance while you sleep.
This is great. And this is where we shift focus a bit, which is a key insight from the sources. We've been talking about fixing the ad platform, but now we pivot to the business infrastructure itself. The message is pretty clear. The most overlooked growth move is better follow through after you get their attention.
That's because ads are not a business model, they're a pressure test.
A pressure test, I like that.
Yeah. I mean, you can build the tightest, most constrained campaign possible, but if your website is slow, your offer is weak, or your follow-up process is a mess,
then throwing more traffic at it, even high-quality traffic, just makes the underlying business problems louder.
Yeah, and more expensive.
So the strategy moves from optimizing clicks to optimizing the entire conversion environment. What does that look like in practice for a local business?
It means focusing on the infrastructure that catches and converts the attention you paid for. This includes things like rigorous reputation management, building trust by highlighting positive feedback, and making sure your CRM can handle a lead immediately.
So don't just work on your click-through rate, work on the lifetime value of the customer.
Exactly. Increase the value of the customer who finally lands on your site.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, this automation age is accelerating way beyond just Google Ads bidding. We need to talk about the next wave. Let's start with AI planning agents.
Right. We're seeing early models where agencies and bigger internal teams are testing AI agents that do more than just brainstorm creative ideas.
What are they doing?
They're starting to compress planning, reporting, and crucially, they're beginning to influence real-time media buying decisions. The promise is incredible speed.
But the risk?
The risk for the business owner is what we call decision blur.
Decision blur, I like that. It's when a machine or an agent makes a critical change and the human manager can't really explain why it happened.
That's it exactly. If an AI tool changes your budgets or your targeting without a clear human-reviewed sign-off, your results can just swing wildly. The clarity demand here is paramount.
So what's the one question to ask?
If you're working with a partner or a new AI tool, you have to ask, weekly or even daily, what changed this week, and what was the clear human or system rationale behind it?
And if they hide behind the algorithm decided or the platform optimized.
Then you're not getting management. You're paying for vibes, basically.
Yeah.
And that will eventually erode your profits just as shrilly as an uncontrolled bid strategy.
And it's not just agents. New platforms are opening up with their own automated tools designed to grab a piece of that performance budget. The source has highlighted Reddit's new Max campaigns. This is Reddit's way of catching up, offering automation built to simplify targeting and bidding.
And Reddit's ability to target niche buyer intent is immense. I mean, if your buyers live in very specific interest groups, say high-end furniture restorers or people obsessed with vintage electronics, Reddit can be so powerful.
But there's a catch.
The caveat is purely practical. Your creative has to feel native to those communities.
Right.
If your ad looks and reads like some generic thing you ripped from Facebook, it's going to fail. You have to respect the culture of the specific subreddits you're targeting.
This all ties into a massive overarching consumer trend. There's a really compelling stat from the sources that consumers spend about $3 billion on AI apps in 2025, and the ChatGPT mobile app alone accounted for almost $2.5 billion of that.
That is not just a big number. It signifies a massive behavioral change.
What's the takeaway for a local business owner?
The one-sentence takeaway is this. Your customers are increasingly getting used to asking instead of searching. They're interacting with these conversational interfaces that synthesize information for them.
So if I'm a local business, how does the fact that people are using ChatGPT affect my website right now?
It means the way you structure your content and your offers is changing. When a person asks an AI agent, who is the best plumber near me that specializes in tankless water heaters, that AI is scraping and scoring the content on your site.
So the architecture of my site content is now being scored by these large language models.
For clarity and specificity, yes. If your value proposition is buried or if your service pages are super generic, the AI is not going to recommend you. Clarity is now essential for discovery, not just for conversion.
Wow. Okay. We've covered a ton here, from campaign structure all the way to site structure. Let's give the listener a clear final takeaway on mastering this automation beast.
We did cover a lot of ground, so here are the 3 key focuses for you this week. First, tighten the economics.
Segment high profit from low profit. Don't blend the budgets.
Exactly. Make sure the system is chasing value, not just volume.
Second, build that simple inspection routine. Look at your search terms every week. Get that lead quality feedback from your sales team, and please install those automated safety net scripts.
The budget alerts and the tracking anomaly checks, yes.
And
third, demand clarity. From all your tools, all your partners, if you're using AI or an agency, ask what changed and why. Don't let decision blur cloud your margins.
Fantastic. Now for that final provocative thought, tying all this together with the idea of a long-term strategic advantage.
The sources cited this key insight from BCG, and it's a powerful one. Productivity gains are often the initial benefit of AI adoption, but the real prize in the agentic age is differentiation.
That really hits home. Differentiation.
Yeah. Think about it. While automation handles the productivity, making the clicks cheaper, making the setup easier for everyone, your focus has to shift entirely.
How your business model stands out.
How it stands out. What is your unique offer? How impeccable is your follow-through? How clean is your data integrity? I mean, if every single one of your competitors is using the exact same automated bidding tools, what is your differentiating factor?
And that is the question that dictates survival.
That's the question for this new age of automated advertising.
That is definitely something worth mulling over. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We'll be back next time with another stack of sources to explore.